Hi, I'm Jocelyn. Welcome to Fast Easy Vegan. Today we're going to make mushroom carbonara. It is in the book Fast Easy Vegan on page 324. Yum. All right, I have, for starters, this is for part of the sauce. I've peeled and diced up a potato and I'm going to cook that until it gets soft. And while that's happening, I'm gonna get the rest of the mushrooms and onions in the pan and get those sauteing. So it calls for 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms, and then there is, wait a minute, what? No onion? Oh, I must have misread that. So yeah, learning how to follow a recipe here. But you know what? Onions and mushrooms are great together, so I'm going to cook them together anyway. So let's get those rolling in the pan, dry pan. Put your mushrooms in right along with those onions that don't exist in the recipe. And it also calls for a cup of peas, which I have. But I'm going to put those in last because peas turn gray when they're cooked too much. So let's just cook our mushrooms and onions. Put a little bit of salt, that helps them get going. Whoa! Causing a riot here. Sorry about that. And if we need any water, which we probably don't, I've got my squeezy bottle of water here. Mushrooms are full of a lot of water, so likely we aren't going to need any water to help that at all. But if the pan gets dry, then we'll use it. And in the meantime, we'll think about our sauce. Now our potatoes are cooking, and that's going to be the creamy part of our carbonara sauce. So let me get our blender out here. Sorry, Bix. Aw. Bix was finishing up his dinner over there and I bumped into him and startled him a little bit. Poor little dog. He has such a rough life. I wish my life was so rough. All right. The sauce, always the most important part of any dish, right? The sauce can make it or break it. Not to say that just steamed vegetables aren't delicious, because the actual flavor of the vegetable is pretty nice too. Okay. The sauce. We're going to add, sorry about this, a little stutter stopping here, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. I think I'm going to chop those up and put those in the pan instead of the sauce, the 2 garlic cloves, and a tablespoon of light miso, all right? And we're going to wait for our potatoes and the liquid that's going to go in there. So let me just chop these up quickly. That's coming along nicely. Chop those garlics. They don't have to be perfectly minced. I mean, you can also crush them if you want, or put them in a garlic press. Do whatever you want. This is simple enough. Put them in our pan and continue the cooking. Okay, now the mushrooms are starting to exude their water. I found some fresh shiitakes the other day, so I've got some of those in here because they're less fresh and they needed to be cooked. And some nice big white mushrooms. You can do the mushrooms any way you want. You can slice them. I quartered them. I love mushrooms, so I like nice big chunks too. So you can see the potatoes are starting to get a little bit frothy. They'll be ready in about 10 minutes. And that's about how long the mushrooms will cook for. Okay, I think I'm going to put the pasta water on as well. Potatoes are just coming to the boil. So when all this stuff is ready, I'll get back to you. Hi, our potatoes are ready, so let's do our sauce. We want to get those potatoes, those cooked potatoes in there, because that's going to make our sauce really creamy and lovely. Instead of all the eggs and cream and horribleness of a real carbonara, a heart attack on a plate is what we used to call it. Okay, and with the potato water, the recipe calls for ½ a cup of water to really make this saucy. And that just about does it. So we've got our pasta water on, ready to go. Once that's boiling, I'll put our pasta in. But in the meantime, let's get this sauce done. Sorry for the horrible noise. And because of the paprika, it's not a white sauce. If you want a lighter sauce, leave that out. But it adds just such a beautiful flavor that I don't care what color it is. And now we're going to put that sauce into our mushrooms. Oh, it smells so good, you guys. You got to make this. And now is when we're going to add our peas. Stir that around. Oh, that looks good enough to eat. So, we're going to cook our pasta, and once that cooks, that's cooked and drained, we're going to add it to our sauce and our mushrooms, and that'll be dinner. So when the pasta's ready to add, I'll come get you. We're ready to put the pasta in the water. Now, the recipe calls for spaghetti or linguine, but I'm going to be a rebel. I'm going to put in some short pasta called celentani, and it's this spirally stuff. It's just fun, and it will soak up all that good sauce. And we'll put it together when the pasta's done. Time to drain the pasta. Add it to the sauce. Okay. Let's switch this to this. that looks so cheerful. Okay. Let's mix this up and sit down to dinner. Oh, a lovely curly pasta. I had an Italian woman scream at me once for rinsing my pasta. I've never done it again. Oh my God, she was so upset. You don't ever do that. You get all the starch away, and it's no good. I'm sure she was right. I mean, hey, who knows more about pasta than Italians, right? Maybe the Chinese. Okay, let me dish this up and show you how beautiful it is. Ooh. You ready to eat? Grab a fork.
That was easy.
Come on over for dinner. We're eating now. Hurry. I'll see you next time.